Anthony Martial is one of the most interesting footballers I've debatably ever seen, because this guy is literally so confusing that I actually don't know how to describe him. The boy has clearly got talent. Clearly, he's got talent. We've seen him with talent. However, he's never as consistent. Half the time he doesn't really look like he's too bothered, and the guy just can't even get a start anymore. When only 2 years ago in 1920, him and Marcus Rashford teamed up to put in very, very good numbers in the Premier League. What has happened to Anthony Martial? And we're going to break down into the start of it and where he is now and why we think he's got to the level he is now. Because the guy's 26. The guy's no longer a young, fresh, up-and-coming talent. The guy should be in, touching the peak of his powers right now. And now he's on loan to Sevilla, starting 7 times. Now being used as a bench player, and in those 9 appearances, only has 1 assist in La Liga and has got 1 goal in the Europa League against Dinamo Zagreb. His time at Sevilla almost perfectly describes Martial. That when he joined, a lot of hype, a lot of excitement, thinking, what can this boy be? What can he do? What if this is his time to become the player that we know he could be? And he starts off great. First game, didn't score an assist, but he did well in that game. Second game, he had a goal in the Europa League. Next game, he had an assist. Things looking fantastic. In 3 games, 1 goal, 1 assist for a brand new team in a brand new league. It looks like this is time for Martial to really do something. And then he doesn't do anything at all anywhere for the rest of the campaign. Against Espanyol, on the bench. Against West Ham, on the bench. Against Rayo Vallecano, on the bench. Against West Ham away, he started, and of course they said he still lost. Real Sociedad started, no goals or assists. Started against Real Sociedad, Barcelona and Granada, still nothing in those games. Back on bench against Real Madrid, and back on bench against Mallorca. And all of those games, nothing, sadly. He had 6.84 rating on who scored, and below that, the next best is a 6.45. But looking at how more Sevilla fans and Spanish fans who watched him just says that he just looks out of place. He looks like his heart isn't in it, and that is the exact problem that many Manchester United fans also have with him. Now, I'm saying I have come to a conclusion that he's not a winger, nor is he a striker. He is a shadow striker, same position as the likes of Dybala. He needs to play in a team who plays in a 2-striker formation like Inter, for example. As a number 9, he's not clinical enough, and as a winger, he's not creative enough. As a 2-striker up front, I think Martial can provide a lot of dribbling and unpredictability, whereas the wing-backs can do the crossing and running, and a striker can do the finishing. Now, the thing is, this is the main issue for Martial, that the main issue that he has got is his work rate. Has he got an attitude? Is he not putting his all into the game? And this is a Manchester United thing that we seem to keep on seeing that a lot of the players do have. Are they not about it? Are they not actually putting 100% on the pitch? Now, I've seen Martial many times at Turf Moor. He seems to always score against Burnley. I've seen Martial at Old Trafford, especially again, we beat Manchester United 2-0, and guess what? He put in one of the worst performances I've ever seen of any striker in my entire life. He could not look any less interested. He was just jogging. He wasn't really coming toward the man to get the ball. He was just kind of hoping that the ball would somehow just find its way to him. Wasn't pressing, and just all in all, just wasn't offering anything and just looked like a passenger. Because not only did I not even notice him, but when he did have the ball, he just was lazy on the touch. And I like Martial. I mean, this is the same guy that we saw back in 2016, coming from Monaco to Man United, all the hype, the welcome to Manchester United, Anthony Martial, and everyone was hyped about this kid. I think the game after that Liverpool game, he then scored against Southampton away, and everyone was like, yes, this kid's going to be a big thing. And he started off quite well, actually. 11 goals and 4 assists in the league. Next year, it's not the best, only 4 goals and 6 assists in the league. However, only started 18 games. Year after that, 9 goals, 5 assists in the league in 18 games. Seemed to have a bit of a injury record, which kept on stopping him from really trying to be consistent. The next year, 10 goals, 2 assists in 18 starts. So back-to-back seasons, he's only starting 18 games. But in that year, he was on the bench for 9 other games. So he's not really a starter, because at the same time, you got the likes of Marcus Rashford coming in and being the main man ahead of Martial. But in the next year is when things seem to really start clicking. The guy had 31 starts, only one off the bench, and scored 17 goals and 6 assists in the 2019-20 season. This was the year that we finally thought, okay, the guy is now 24 now, 25, he's now going to start becoming the main man, becoming the man that they bought the money for, which is up to 50, 60, 70 million. I don't even know how much it is because they keep on changing based on the bonuses that they have in the clauses. There's 3 clauses, one being Martial having 25 goals for Manchester United in the league. He got that. 2 others. One was having 25 appearances for the French national team, and the main one, which everyone talks about, is the fact that he's got a Ballon d'Or clause in his contract that if he wins Ballon d'Or, that Man United will pay extra money to Monaco for that clause. Now, this is crazy as, yes, he had some hype, but the season before he joined Man United, he only had 9 goals and 3 assists in 19 games and 16 off bench in a full year, only 9 goals. That seems quite crazy to have a Ballon d'Or clause in a contract. That is crazy. That is actually crazy. That's like Lionel Messi levels of like standards right there. That's how highly people thought this kid was going to be. They saw the Thierry Henry link, Frenchman at Monaco as a left-sided inside forward. They thought they were sending new Thierry Henry. And what they really got was Danny Welbeck. Now, of course, no disrespect to Danny Welbeck, but Martial, this is the main frustrating part, is the fact that we've seen the moments that he's been very good and that he has got that creative flair to him that not every player has. You're born with it. The things that he can do in the ball is very good. He just doesn't do it enough. And that is a big problem. Now at the age of 26, you're at Man United, you've got to perform. You've got to deal the goods. And he's not doing it. And he's gone on loan to Sevilla because he only started, I think, twice in the first half of this season for Man United. But for France, he does seemingly alright. Crazy because, again, it feels like it's another Paul Pogba. That the guy is very good. You know he's very good. But you can't seem to get that out of him. And the fact of the matter is, you can't really blame Man United because he's now in a different team, in a different league, different culture, and he's still not performing to that same level. What will now be the future of Martial? I mean, he's 26. He's still got many more years left in him. Can he bring it back? What do you guys think? Were people too harsh of their expectations of Martial? Were people just putting him way too high to what they should be? Because maybe his level was actually a lot more lower, but because of the money and the price tag they gave him, people just overhyped him way too much, and it actually ended up harming him because he was trying to perform to a level that he wasn't really ready for. This is a thing that we see so often, like for example Bukayo Saka. He's a great player, but he's playing almost every game and trying to be forced to be the main man for Arsenal. The guy's still a kid, has to still learn about his own body almost, and what is he really good at physically on the pitch to a senior level. It's different to when you're playing against, you know, people your age in the under 21s, whatever else, in the development squads. But when you're playing at a senior level, he shouldn't be the main man. He still needs to be able to look at people in his own team and look at them and learn off them. Saka hasn't got that. Someone's saying when he's hungry and wants it, he looks good. Sadly, that is a minimal amount of time. Has natural talent, but isn't willing to put in the hard work without getting too frustrated and demotivated. Did Martial overperform in that 19-20 year? Was he performing way too high, way above to what he's usually at, and that we are just expecting a guy which will never happen because he's not actually that level to begin with? I don't know, man. There's Martial, and I look at him, I honestly, is very, very interesting to me. If I was Martial, I would say go to Italy. I think go to Italy or go back to France, you know, maybe go back to a Monaco or maybe go back to a Lyon. Maybe that could not be a bad shout either. I don't really think Spanish football really suits him. He was like the Mbappe, you know, for like a couple of months, and then people realised actually he's alright, but he's not that level. And now he's just turned into, you know, he started like a couple of times in Spain and starting twice a season for United. It's really sad to see him. Yeah, I'll see you guys next time for another video. And yeah, lads, stay safe.